Is the Army turning this thing into a migrant shelter? Why are you guys here? It's a hotel. Why is the Army at this hotel?
We're here at the request of the
State of New York has put the Army into hotels? What the hell is that about? This is a public hotel, right? What is the Army doing in this hotel? Have you guys taken over this hotel? What is... What the fuck is the Army doing taking over civilian hotels in the middle of New York City? I can't record. So this is what I'm talking about, people. Do you think those guys are there to help you or me? What is going on? Is the Army turning this thing into a migrant shelter?
Shalom. Call Haloyam La Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rechak Kodash. Rakatan Yahweh, Rakatan Yahweh Shai, Rakatan Rechak Kodash, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rechak Kodash. Shalom and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elder bishops and the elders and the Akim and the Akwa for the hopeful elect. Shalom. Just want to go into a quick video entitled, You Reap What You Sow. You know, this is Babylon the Great. You know, they rise with, they call it manifest destiny. You know, pursuant to Jeremiah 49. We'll go ahead and get that real quick. It's biblical prophecy. And they call it the manifest destiny, but it's a biblical prophecy against the so-called Native American Indians and so-called Latino Hispanics, the Northern Kingdom, the lost 10 tribes of Israel. It says Genesis 49 and 19. Gad, a so-called North American Indian, a troop shall overcome him, and that's the pilgrims when they came over here with Columbus, beginning with Columbus, and then all the other Edomites that followed over here to take the Western Hemisphere. But he shall overcome at the last. So that's part 2 of Manifest Destiny. You know, so Manifest Destiny, you know, it's a 2-part series, right? The downfall of the Northern Kingdom, losing their land to the cave beast Edomites over here in the Americas, and then part 2 of them rising up, you know, in these last days and overcoming, you know, through the power and spirit of Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai, right? The Spirit has gathered up the elect, the great calling and great awakening in the valley of dry bones here in America, Babylon the Great. And now, you know, they was proud, arrogant, said, forget about the past, you know, forgive and let it go, you know, just forget about the past. And now they're in, and their demise is now manifesting before our eyes. That's the first video we saw. That was they call it a Venezuelan gang. You know, it's part of the influx of migrants that's been just flooding through the southern borders over the last year or 2. But they've been here, you know, it's been happening for decades, really, you know. But it's really intensified over the last year or 2. You know, the floodgates have opened, so to speak, right? Where the government is just allowing, I did a video about that, you know, all of the immigrants are coming in, not just Northern Kingdom, you know, quote unquote illegal immigrants, but because the true illegal immigrant is a so-called white man, but that has been the gateway to all the nations of the earth, the Chinese, the Russians, Arabs, you know, the Hamites, so-called Africans. They all been flooding through those gates, and they're filling up America, as they call them, sleeper cells, as right now they're dormant and not really becoming mobile and not becoming active yet to enact, you know, carry out orders from their governments, you know, to go throughout these neighborhoods and cities throughout Babylon and Great America, you know. And that's going to be one aspect of the judgments. That's one of the plagues that the Most High has allowed to infiltrate into this society. And this is all judgment from the Most High, because they thought that they would just be able to live here forever in peace and be forever the world superpower, and tell the Israelites that they've destroyed to do what? Forgive and forget, you know? But no, that's not how existence works. The Most High is the infinite righteous judge of truth and justice, right? So everything has been imbalanced, and the Most High is a power of balance. He say a false balance is an abomination. So it's been an abomination of evil triumphing of the so-called white race, you know, dominating the 12 tribes of Israel, so-called Black Latino Native American Indians, and the entire earth. The whore that sitteth upon many waters, right? That many waters is the whore America dominating the entire earth. So wickedness is only for a moment. So Galatians 6 and 7. Be not deceived, Yahweh is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So this nation has sown bloodshed, deceit, treachery, murder, theft, identity theft, you know, and hoarded the Most High's chosen people, you know, put us in slavery, and so it's going to return upon them. It says verse 8, for he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption, but he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting. And that's how you sow. That's how you store your treasures up in heaven, sowing to the Spirit. And what's spiritual? The law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Doing your best ability to do so, and having the faith first and foremost, right? In Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, in the name of Yahweh Shai. So we'll get Romans chapter 8 and verse 6. For to be carnally minded is death, and this country has been nothing but carnally minded. And through everything that they push, through TV, music, and everything, right? Everything is carnal and fleshly. It's all about chasing the bag, making money, not worrying about your spirituality, your mental health, but just get up and focus on prosperity. That's why they preach that in the Christianity churches, which is the ultimate whorehouse and the house of merchant of merchandise. It says, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. And what's spiritual? Romans 7 and 14. For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold unto sin. We in his flesh, but we strive for the law, for that which is spiritual. We look up for the things that we focus our minds on, that which is above the earth, in the heavens. That's the Most High, the spiritual law, statutes, and commandments. So Psalm 37 and 37. Mark the perfect man, and behold the upright, for the end of that man is peace. So, and what's perfect? The law is perfect. Psalms 19 and 7. The law of the Lord Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai is sure, making wise the simple. So that's how you have peace. And that's how you're perfect, by keeping the law. Of course we're not perfect, but we strive for perfection. We're putting on as the elect, keeping our garments. And what is that? Keeping the commandments to the best of your ability. And that's how you have that peace. And that's what Romans 8 and Romans 8 and 6 is speaking about. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded, meaning the law, statutes, and commandments on your mind and having faith, is life and peace. So the end of that man is peace, as we read in Psalm 37 and 37. So whoever says the law is done away with is a fool. They're a heretic. They believe in lies and oppression, and they will be destroyed lest they repent. Verse 7, because the carnal mind is enmity against Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai, for it is not subject to the law of Yahweh, neither indeed can be. So when you say that the law is done away with, then guess what? You're enmity against the Most High, and nobody in their right mind want to be an enemy of the Most High, because you'll be destroyed beyond comprehension, and pain will be, unbearable. So But yeah, in that second video, you seen a New York. So the second video, you seen a guy. He was walking through the street of New York down the sidewalk, right? And a hotel was overtaken by the military, and the Edomite soldier said that what they're there. He answered the guy recording, said that they were there at the request of the state of New York. So the state of New York requested, for that army to take over that military. So take over that hotel to dwell there at the hotel, because there are some major things that are about to occur. Why would the military be occupying a hotel in the middle of the city instead of out there, focusing on more, pressing matters across seas and even maybe domestic, on the border. So it's because the influx of immigrants, and there's going to be a lot of activity going on. There's activity already going on, as we saw in the first video about the Venezuelan gang. That's a result of the mass, the crossing over the border coming to the U.S. and it's only going to intensify. And that's over there in Aurora, Colorado, I believe. And so they've been coming in through Texas, right, through the borders there, and that's happening over there in Colorado. That shows you how far that they're throughout every area of the country in strategic areas, carrying out different tasks and objectives, that they receive from their homeland. They have ties with the cartel and different Colombian, organized crime lords. So, it's about to things are going to degenerate more and more, and you're going to see more and more of this, more gangs taking over areas throughout, probably, many states and cities. And they're trying to, I guess, maybe prevent that over in New York by having the military present at a hotel to be able to immediately respond to things, because this is far beyond now the pay grade of the police department, who they've already been pretty much defunding, right? So now they're going to bring in the military, so it's becoming more and more a military state, which is, quote unquote, what's that, martial law. And this is the days that we're about to enter into, the military state, and these end time apocalyptic times, and this is the same way Rome fell, because they being stretched real thin. The Roman army, they were fighting in so many different areas throughout the three corners, Africa, Europe, and Asia during that time, and their military got stretched thin, and they ran out of money, and the economy was falling and all of that. So it's the same process that's happening in Babylon the Great, but on a greater, wider, grander scale, so because they are throughout the four corners in all of these wars, and backing up those little hats over there, right in the Middle East, the Valley of Yahweh Shaphat, the Valley of Decision, of Yahweh's decision over there. The armies are being drawn over there, and then they having to fight both foreign and domestic, battles, and they getting stretched thin, and the military can't handle it, and that's why they're trying to have that the military draft. It's going to round up a whole bunch of men and women as well, because they're going to need the bodies, because they're being stretched thin. And so this is the beginning of their demise and fall, and it's only going to intensify. So we'll get Ezekiel 35 and verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. So Esau has a perpetual hatred. They'll never love us, the so-called white race. They'll always hate the Israelites. But our people love to try to save and forgive and have defend their oppressor. They have Stockholm syndrome, loving their slave master. But the Most High says, this is why the Most High is going to destroy them, because of they forced a sword upon us, and in the time that our iniquity, our sin had it in. So the Most High is done punishing us, but the Edomites, they perpetual hatred, goes beyond the Most High's cutoff point of punishing us, and they still want to destroy us, because the so-called white race destroying us is the Most High's will. For a season, that was to punish us for our wickedness. In verse 6, therefore, as I live, saith the Most High Power, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Because the original illegal immigrant was what? The pilgrims, the so-called white race ancestors. And now they pursue blood to come and steal the land and continuously destroy us in the streets. Zechariah 11 and 5. And so since they haven't hated blood, meaning since the Edomites have not hated shedding blood, then blood's going to pursue them. People coming to destroy them as well, the same way that they destroyed the Israelites. So we'll get that real quick since I quoted it. For edification purposes, Zechariah 11 and 5, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And what does that sound like? The cops murdering so-called Black Latinos, Native American Indians in the streets, and doing what? Holding themselves not guilty in court. A rare case that they might receive a punishment, but we've seen plenty of verdicts always come out not guilty, and it's so many that we don't even know about, And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord Yahweh, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. Because the Al Sharptons and the Jesse Jacksons and them, all the other people just like them in their stead, the false leaders, they're in bed with them, and they say they don't even pity them because they sold out to them to make money and to come out and do a public appearance and public speak, and they know that they're just speaking hot air, because they have these false leaders of our nation in their back pocket. So that's what's going on, and that's that perpetual hatred, and they'll never end, and they'll never stop doing that until the Most High go ahead and rise up. And that's what he's doing right now by putting these caterpillars in the nation, and this is what that's going into. Jeremiah 51 and 14, the Lord Yahweh in the name Yahweh Shai of hosts hath sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars. And that's that mass influx of so-called quote-unquote illegal immigrants. And now he's starting to see the end results of it. It's going to be they're organizing, and they took over that apartment complex over there in Colorado. And that's just the beginning, I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars. And what do caterpillars do? They devour and eat. It says, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. And that's what they're doing. They begin that beginning of that shout. One of the beginnings of the shout is them taking over that Colorado apartment complex. So caterpillars, young locusts, early stage of development, and these are a lot of them are young men. You see caterpillar as devouring. It's like a lot of teenagers. That's a part of these gangs as well. And there's reports also that there's men running around on, they drive up on scooters, and then these are young men, and then they'll snatch and take your phone and send them back across to Colombia, wherever else, and they're selling them for thousands of dollars. So they're snatching people's purses and phones, and even young teenagers. I heard they're walking up to children and taking children and kidnapping girls and they're disappearing. So they're using young men, young teenagers, little boys, to snatch other little young girls out of their front yards, from public venues, and they're disappearing. So this is just the beginning. So if you have children, don't let them out your sight. Don't let them keep them close, because these little young boys and even more mature grown men are snatching children up and taking them, throwing them in vans and taking off. So you better be gotta be circumspect in these last days and pay close attention to everything, because that's a new added element, a new threat now, in these last days. One of the beginning threats, and the American citizens haven't even begun to form their factions. The Proud Boys and all these military factions, these former military men, Americans that's that secretly form these pacts with other guys, right? They're going to walk around and flood the streets as well, so it's going to be pure chaos. American factions versus quote unquote illegal immigrant factions, and the Most High is going to preserve the elect through it all. And it's good riddance. Let's go ahead and get that real quick in Psalms. I think it's 91, verse 7. Okay. Psalm 91 and 7. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. It won't come near us, because it won't come near us. I'm trying to find another precept for Salakia, but it won't come near us because the Most High is going to have the covering over the elect. So Lord willing, we're of that number, so we'll be okay. I was trying to get that one, but I can't find it. Salaki, give me 1 second. Salaki, so this is what I want to get right here. Job 5, and we'll start at verse 20. In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. So, and right now, famine, aka food insecurity, right now that they have, right? The Most High is going to redeem us from it, from the death of that, because the Most High say better it is to die by the sword than to die by famine, because you pine away, meaning rot away, right? And then in war, from the power of the sword. So, we're not going to be destroyed by the military. We won't be drafted into the military. We're going to be preserved. We won't have to deal with none of that madness. We're not fighting no damn war. The World War III of the serpent. We're not joining the dragon's military. It's going to be destroyed by Yahweh's military through the power and spirit of Yahweh, right? So verse 21, thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. So, we see these things, and it's alarming to see it. It's a blessing. We see that the end of our enemy is coming, so we won't be afraid. We're going to be all right. We know we have the comfort of the scriptures and have faith and hope, unlike the other folks that hasn't been sown into the spirit and not storing their treasures up in heaven. So verse 21, thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. We're not going to be afraid. The Most High is going to hide us, and that's Isaiah 59 and 19. When the enemy come in like a flood, the Most High will lift up a standard against them. So these militaries will come in like a flood, and even these gangs may come in like a flood, and the Most High gonna lift up a standard and protect us. That word standard goes into being hid or take flight, So different miraculous spiritual blessings are gonna occur in that moment, in those days, in those miraculous spiritual powers. Verse 22. This is the key here. It says, at destruction and famine thou shalt laugh. So we're the destruction of Babylon the Great, and throughout the four corners we're going to laugh at it, because we know that it's the end of our enemies, and it's a beautiful thing to see our captivity is about to come to an end. Salvation is near, ever so close. So neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth, because we're going to have to maneuver. We're going to possibly have to become pilgrims. The scriptures say that in the Apocrypha. Be thou as a pilgrim upon the earth, because meaning what? Moving around a bit, and the Most High is going to preserve them. That does it. Like the prophet Elijah, he was moving around as a pilgrim as well, and everywhere he went, what happened? The Most High provided for him, right? Fed him with the raven, sent him to that lady's house, where that oil never decreased. The miraculous moment of that, the divine power of the Most High had that oil just be an infinite supply of oil to cook food. So the Most High will provide for the elect. Elijah is that perfect, there's a great example in Yahweh, perfect example in Yahweh, the infinitely perfect example of our blessings when we believe upon Him. So we're going to laugh at all this destruction coming in. and you know, we're going to know that it's good for them, and it's great for us. It's good for them to receive proper recompense, and it's great for us to be able to finally start to have the hell that we've been dwelling in and torments to finally be destroyed and brought down by the Most High. Job 18:11, terrors shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. And so these Edomites seeing all of these news events, all of this breaking news of these occurrences of the latest updates of their destruction, and terrors are taking hold of these Edomites, so-called white race for sure. It's driving them to his feet, mentally and spiritually, and then it's going to be physically as well once those gangs and, you know, factions and all of this, all hell breaking loose. You know, the Northern Kingdom gangs that are going off. You know, it's part of the 2/3 right there. You know, and then there's some that could be, you know, obviously other nations, you know, Spaniards, but these gangs are coming up from the south. And then the gangs throughout, you know, the original gangs throughout the Americas as well, you know. These skinheads, these white power groups. It's just gonna be one big battleground and battlefield. So reminds me of that movie called Gangs of New York with Leonardo DiCaprio. You know, the original gangs are the so-called white people. You know, they're the thugs and gangsters. So Second Ezra, let's see, Second Ezra, chapter 15, and verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And that's part of that beginning phase because of these gangs and stuff. You know, the military state, the police taking over. The military taking over the hotel, and that's going to happen more and more. Till they're just going to be everywhere in the streets throughout the 50 states and all the cities. And it's going to be checkpoints. You know, you won't be able to travel much at all. Therefore, because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, and that's them terrorists taking hold of them on every side. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So these men are afraid, even those so-called mighty ones, right? As prophesied in Jeremiah, I think 50 or 51, they're going to become as women, beginning with their military strongmen. So if the military strongmen are going to become as women, how much more the average soft American Edomite white boy, right? So they're going to become as men. And they're going to become as women, and they're going to be destroyed and be driven to their feet. Slacky. So there's a lot going on. So verse 19. And man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So the lack of bread, great tribulation, you know, that's that famine, and then that death that comes with that, and the pestilences. You know, the Most High is this wave upon wave of plagues and destruction. So Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up. That's the top war angel under Yahushua. Like Joab was David's top war, you know, right hand man and the war general. That's what Michael is in the spirit, you know, spiritual realm with Yahushua. Says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, that the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was, since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. So that's the book of life, the elect that will be blessed with salvation. Even Christianity knows that you have to, you know, that there's a book of life. Your name must be written in it. So if everyone's going to be saved, then why would there need to be? Why would the Most High make an account of the names that would be saved? That's because not everyone will be saved. So this is the worst days ever, the last time, the end times, and so we will go through it, and it's going to be so bad till the chief war angel under Yahweh Shai is going to stand up and be a protection, going to rise up and do some things in this realm, and the elect will be preserved through it all, and it's going to be a time of trouble unlike ever in the history of mankind. And then the Israelites will be saved. That's written in the book of life. They're going to be preserved through it all until Yahweh shall thrust in the sickle and change the vile bodies of the elect, which are these fleshly bodies, and translate them into those spiritual bodies as they get beamed up into that one of those chariots, so-called UFOs. Jeremiah 23 and verse 3. And I will gather the remnant of my flock. Why I say the remnant? Why I didn't say the whole nation? This is the elect, 1/3 of the Israelites found written in the book of life. And I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries whither I have driven them. That's the four corners of the earth that we're in, chiefly over in Babylon and Great America, throughout the Americas, and then all the countries throughout, Russia, Europe, Africa, and China, Europe, Africa, and Asia. So, and will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. So that's the kingdom of heaven. So they say, how you be fruitful? Then the Most High say, be fruitful and multiply, meaning to have children. So that show you that that's salvation. So the kingdom of heaven is going to be, we're going to have children in the kingdom of heaven as well. We're going to have wives, and we're going to have children. And that's the 2/3 coming back after they be destroyed on this side first. Verse 4, and I will set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more. And that's when the Most High wipe the tears away from our faces, right? When salvation comes, and we don't have to cry anymore from the oppression and slavery that we're suffering right now, and all of this affliction. And they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking, said the Most High Power Yahweh, in the name Yahweh Shai, because in the curses of Deuteronomy 28, we shall be in want of all things. That means what? AKA lacking. We're lacking everything. Our oppressor had to give us everything. Our clothing, loans. He's going to lend it to us, and we shall borrow from him. We shall only borrow, and he shall lend it to us. He's going to be the head, and we're going to be the tail. So we've lacked in everything. Verse 5. Behold, the days come, said the Most High Power Yahweh, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch. And that's Yahweh Shai. Through the bloodline of David, the Messiah came through. Right? And a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. And real quick, Revelation 22 and 16. I, Yahweh Shai, have sent mine angel to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David, and that's that righteous branch raised unto David that we just read, and the bright and morning star, and that's Yahweh Shai returning. The morning star represents, the kingdom of heaven, the morning, the morning from the night. And with the night, we're here in America, Babylon the Great, in darkness, in the nation of dark, in the valley of dry bones, and pure darkness. And this is the nation of night, because the laws is a light and a lamp. And the law is done away with here in this society, so it's nothing but darkness at night. And Yahweh Shai, he's the root and offspring, because he came before. He's the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, right? But he can't but fulfill prophecy, Yahweh Shai came through the bloodline after, through the bloodline of David. That's that righteous branch the Most High built, raised up, which is Yahweh Shai when he was born 2,000 years ago. Jeremiah 23 and verse 5. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, in the name Yahweh Shai, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. That's when he returns. In his days, Judah shall be saved. That's the southern kingdom. And Israel shall dwell safely. So that's the northern kingdom. This is the end time prophecy of the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom. They're back together but we're oppressed together here in America, chiefly in America and throughout the four corners as well. The other three corners, which is Africa, Europe, and Asia. And this is his name whereby he shall be called, the Lord Yahweh, and the name Yahweh Shai, our righteousness. So, it was going down. In verse 7, therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, and the name Yahweh Shai, that they shall no more say, the Lord Yahweh liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. So just let you know, this is not the old Egypt. This is going to be a whole new one. So it says, but the Lord Yahweh, and the name Yahweh Shai liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country. That's North America, and from all countries whither I have had driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. See, that's North America, and then throughout the four corners that the Most High drove us. It's the end time prophecy of when we're going to get beamed up, so we're going to be preserved through it all. And this is just the beginning. So you reap what you sow, Esau. You stole this land from our Native American, so-called Latino brethren in the Northern Kingdom, and brought the Southern Kingdom over here to build this nation. And this is his demise, the beginning of his end. And we'll get one more precept. We'll get it right here. Ecclesiastes chapter 25 and verse 7. There be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that hath the joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. So we're seeing the fall of our enemy, and it's bringing joy, and we're just being cautious and optimistic and hopeful that we're of the elect to be preserved through it all. So I hope this video is edifying. The water to the Rakakadosh Bashem Yahweh Shai for another video. Until the next video, I say, Shalom.